Hi, fellow greasy people. I'm Chuck. This is Up Chuck Chops. Thanks for joining me. Last week I had a productive week as far as videos go, and I got a lot of comments from folks, and I greatly appreciate that. And it was also very humbling because I got told I was very, very wrong, and that's okay. Being humbled is okay because nobody's too smart to learn anything, especially this guy. I got lots to learn. But I want to give special thanks to at Pit Snipe Husker. He was very patient, provided a lot of information, and I'm getting ready to review that information as I'm cleaning on this bike. My electrical knowledge on vehicles is novice at best. May have said this before. I've wired whole houses. It's not very complicated to me. I don't understand why everything works the way it works, but I know the process and I can make the light come on. I've also been shocked a lot, so take that for what it's worth. Vehicle wiring, not so much. So I've got cleaning and things to do, and then hopefully I'll pick you up in a little bit and we'll do some correct testing the correct way. And I also consulted my manual and found some numbers, and we're gonna see if we can figure this thing out. So I'll see you in a little bit. I'm gonna film taking this farther apart so I can get to some stuff easier on the cleaning part. All right, I'm gonna be careful here. To get my big hands in there, it's gonna be easier to do this removed. I wonder, see that little clip way down in there? Right there? I wonder, wire comes out, comes around. That may be a clue. If I have to replace this anyhow, I'm gonna have to take it out anyhow, so it is what it is. Kind of hate continuing disassembly, but if I slap the top together and this don't work, I'm just gonna be disappointed later. And as much as I hate cleaning on stuff, that's what I need to do. Okay, that is loose. These short ones go from the outside in. These longer bolts go from the inside toward the out. Now, looks like, pop that rubber. I need to take this loose. Better give it a squirt. Get a good screwdriver tip. All right. I'm gonna try this without an impact. That's a no-go. Okay, impact it is. You may not believe this, but I don't enjoy beating on things. I would rather it just worked. Well, that's gonna require surgery. Awesome. Oh for 2, sweet. I'm gonna try out my new Harbor Freight pliers. Oh, those are really stuck. Well, I didn't count on that. At this point, I don't care about saving those screws. I just care about, I can go to the hardware store, I'm certain, and get those. So I just got to get them out. So I can get that out and those out, and yeah, the thing. Okay, new plan. While those are soaking in Kroil and I cry a little, let's pop this starter cover off and see what is going on in there and see if I can find where that water came from. If I was a betting man, it seeped down and through. That was really short. Okay. Starter bolt. Not a starter bolt, gee whiz. Starter cover. You know what would be way cool? Is if I made a cooler cover than this. And used it. I don't know. Okay. Well, the gasket isn't terrible, but I may have found the spot. I reckon I did. I just couldn't see it before. As it sits, everything looks pretty buttoned up, right? Right. But when I take this cover off, looky there. It appears there should be a piece of rubber or something blocking. I wish I had Red's little pointy finger. Let me grab a screwdriver. See this spot right there? Looks like there's hair. It looks like hair. I don't think it is. I have a fairly high degree of confidence that that is where the water came from. Even though there isn't any laying in the bottom, I wonder if it didn't seep through here, if that doesn't have a good seal. That's the only thing I can figure, folks. Am I a detective? Maybe. All right, I can get the chain to move. I know, screwdrivers aren't pry bars, but it's what I had in my hand right then. I don't see a master link. That's not to say it's not hiding from me. Well, the more you know, right? Once again, if I was a betting man, that's probably a neutral light. This one is power going to the starter. A little shot of the stuff. I'll spend on it, like, I'm okay with that. Drop those in there for later. How's my bench covered in parts again already? I don't need to right this second, but I'm exploring here. I'm trying to wrap my head around what goes what. Okay. That. Oh, okay. Where did that come from? Clearly this should go to, maybe? I don't know where this came from. I forget now. I'm gonna, raw video footage, yay. Well, here's my thought. If I slide the starter out of the way, I can slide the chain out of the way. If there's enough wiggle that I can get it just out of the way so I can do the cleaning. Maybe I'm procrastinating on cleaning because I don't like cleaning. It's my shop. Washer. I guilted myself into it. Proper pry bar. Okay, fish that out. Okay, dude. This goes there, through here. I don't remember where that goes. That's what it is. It's going on the bench. There are 2 bolts on this end. And I could look at the book, but I don't think I'm going to have enough give on that. That looks like the only 2 things holding it in. I have side to side. I got front and back and side to side. Okay. This one goes through here. This rubber sits there. I would hope a guy doesn't have to take this off to slide that. Well, I'm failing all the way around. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to give you a quick peek. This should be the correct numbers. Armature resistance, yellow leads, 0.4 to 0.6. Field coil test, green and black leads, 3.8 to 5.8. Now, I'm on. I'm on the lowest ohm setting. Let's do the yellow first. It's hard to see. These are actually yellow. They're just kind of grease covered. $44.8. Okay. I'm moving again. 44.3. 44.4. 45. Okay. It's a lot higher than what the book says. Now, what I learned from my new internet friend, I should be able to go to the block. I think that's an indication of I have too much resistance between the leads. It's probably not good. Now, this side on green to black, the book says 3.8 to 5 point something. 5.8. Well, okay, try her again. I tried this off camera and got the same results. That seems way high too. So I don't think we're any good, is what I'm saying. So I have to figure out a plan on how to replace that. The old engine I tore up, this stuff, it's worse in there. But for funsies, let's check the old coil. Let's see what that's supposed to say. I am mostly doing this as a form of forced learning. The book says the measure coil primary resistance using an ohm meter between both primary terminals. My primary terminals are supposed to be these two. There's a picture, you'll have to trust me. And it should be 3.2 to 4.8 on the ohms. So, that there. I'll slide this in there. Try and make sure I'm getting a good connection. I don't care if this is blown out or not. I already have a replacement. I just am curious. Could my fingers be throwing that off? That's a lot more than 3. Can you see that? 22? 20. Okay. Let's try the secondary. 10.4 to 15.6 thousand. That means I need to switch this. 10.4 to 15.6 thousand. Alright. Jammer in there. It appears the old coil is not good. I'll keep it just in case for later testing. Just for fun. And I would expect this would vary somewhat because this is manufactured much later. Maybe there's a little bit of a difference. 9.7. This is supposed to be brand new. That's higher than the 4.8 stated. Now I wonder, I'm not very good at this. 14.6? 14.6 thousand, if I'm reading this right, says that's good, so I'm thinking it's gonna make the sparkles. I think I confirmed what I suspected. This part of the ignition system is a no-go. So, I gotta get online this week, do some learning, and see what I need to order. Hope these 2 screws that lets me take the rest of the stuff out are not permanently attached. I can get them out. I do have a spare cover. I don't want to go that route, but you know, things happen. I think I did a better job of testing this time with a little help from my internet friends and the book, and I think I can pretty certainly say it's not going. Gonna have to figure out something else. So next step, yeah, some research and stuff, and then hopefully Capital One will help me out with a loan, short term like, and get ignition together and cleaned and start a reassembly. I don't know. This is probably the most difficult. I got to remember to shoot a little something in there to keep water from getting in it again, and maybe start reassembling someday. This is way more difficult than the Discovery Channel made it look in 2000 or 2002. So yeah, you have that. Anyhow, this is going to be way too long again. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for hanging around and watching me do things that I don't know how to do very well. And I appreciate it. I really do. Hopefully I'm going to find something fun. Like, just heads up, I've got some parts collected. Sure would like to use them, but I'd like to put a peanut tank on this thing because I like them, and my old tanks are they might be all right. One of them's already been slimed. I think it would be maybe easier just to buy old Amazon peanut tank, weld some tabs on, and screw it together with a new petcock and not fight the old tanks. So that's my thought on that. I can see this thing in my mind. It's just slow going. So long story long, I will catch you guys later. I don't have any shorts lined up, and it's going to be a long week at work, so this may be all we get this week. Being an adult's kind of a drag. If I could if I could win that old Powerball, I wouldn't be going to work. I would be doing this or working very cheaply as an apprentice at a motorcycle shop. But I got to go do the thing. So make the money, keep the lights on and propane in the tank to run the heater and whatever. So anyhow, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks again. Got to pick up tools too. Yeah.